is Digivation Network.
Ikechukwu Nnamani, the President, Association of Telecom Companies of Nigeria, ATCON, and the Chief Executive Officer of a leading data service hosting company in Nigeria. Ikechukwu Nnamani, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Last year, you emerged as the President of ATCON. How has the journey been, and what are your plans for ATCON and the industry ahead?
It has been quite an interesting journey, but as you probably know, I've been in the executive, including being the previous Vice President one. So moving up to the President position has been a smooth migration. For us, it's in three different subcategories. One is to ensure our secretariat and membership services is top-notch, and we improve on what it was before and make it very industry-focused, so that every member of the association, being a company, sees direct benefit of their membership. The second is to promote key industry issues that will move the industry forward as well as move the country forward. To achieve that, we've been working closely with both the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, the regulator from the telecom aspect in particular, NCC, Nigeria Communication Commission, as well as other ICT regulatory agencies, NITDA, and the rest of them, just to be sure that from a regulatory standpoint, everybody is working in synergy, right? Then we are also very keen to ensure that the subscribers, who ultimately are the users of this service, are getting good quality for the right price.
Thank you so much. Now, tell us more about ATCON's key objective and its role in coordinating Africa's biggest telecom market and the stakeholders.
ATCON is the premier association of the telecom and ICT industry in Nigeria, and the membership cuts across about 9 subgroups and over 100 member companies. This includes your telecom service providers, both the mobile, fixed, the IDA licensees, your infrastructure providers, whether it's data centers, cell sites, or your traditional metro long-distance fiber providers, your internet service providers, both the wholesale and the retail subsectors, over-the-top players like Facebook, Google, and the rest of them, equipment manufacturers, and then the distributors, your fintech subgroup, as well as telecom and ICT consulting. So because it's such a diverse group that pretty much covers every aspect of the telecom ecosystem, it's quite interesting to be able to put everybody together. ATCON basically is the convergence of technology and ICT services, right? So while we have, for each of these subgroups, we have some other membership associations that also addresses a core subgroup. Within ATCON is where everybody comes together under one umbrella, because now we have convergence of both technology and services, and ATCON provides that platform. So the executive of ATCON, therefore, is a very busy executive, because we have to not only deal with membership-related issues, but we now also have to do with the regulators, both federal, state, and local government area.
There is a national broadband plan in which Nigeria hopes to realize about 17% broadband penetration by the year 2025. This is 2021. Can you please tell us how feasible it is to achieve this objective, and what are the challenges that we may have to grapple with?
Well, it's achievable, but as you've rightly said, there are challenges that need to be overcome sooner than later if we are to achieve it. The right-of-way issue is one of it, where though some states have started complying with the agreement with the telecom stakeholders in terms of what the ID price should be, which is put at not more than 145 naira per linear meter. Some states have even decided to just waive it, but very few. What we are noticing is that while even in some states that have decided to either waive or reduce the right-of-way, some new charges has been introduced, which at the end now even makes it more expensive, you know. So we are addressing all that under the association, working with some of the key stakeholders to see. But then you also have to deal with issues about vandalism, where if you put infrastructure and it's vandalized, then you won't have service, you know. We have to do with issues that has to do with the high cost of fund, as well as unavailability of funding to the telecom industry. Some of the financial institutions just tells you, hey, we don't have cheap funds available for your sector. So we are doing something about it. We are trying to address it with the relevant key stakeholders so that the right funding is available for the industry to ensure that all this happens. And then finally, there have to be a good balance between supply and demand. If you want to provide infrastructure that is not for free, then your investors want to be sure that there is sufficient demand to take up that service for the return on investment to be assured. So we are also working with relevant stakeholders, especially from the government side, to ensure that the necessary demand is created so that when you put this infrastructure, it's easy to say we want broadband everywhere, but are people going to use it? What is the demand for it? Beyond your traditional big city of probably Lagos, you could throw in maybe to some extent Abuja, to some extent Port Harcourt. Beyond those three triangles that has been there historically, what is the demand in other parts of the country? You know, there are parts of the country that even 2G is not fully available, right? So we are working on this, but the good thing is that, yes, the 70% is fully achievable if the right things are done.
Very importantly, broadband is an enabler to economic development, and recently the Senate okayed the deployment of 5G in Nigeria. What is the significance of this to the growth of the Nigerian economy?
I remember last year I was one of those that went to the Senate chamber to present to the Senate subcommittee on communication on this, where we laid everything on the table, answered all the questions. The minister, the NCC, everybody was there. Every key stakeholder was there to answer all the questions that was posed. So we are happy that eventually documents that are accurate has been reviewed, because what we found out was that a lot of wrong information was being put out that needed to be clarified. You know, people needed to be properly informed on reality as different from just speculative rumors, you know, in terms of the safety and all that. So I'm glad that has been addressed. The fact that now we have to go into the real work, which is to create the licensing process. That is where the regulator now have to do its work, right? To be sure that when this license is fully created, or the spectrums, really that's what you need, the spectrum to be able to offer this service is made available. It is at a price point that operators will be able to afford it, and also will be able to roll out, their services. Because having the license is one thing, having the spectrum allocated is another, but being able to roll out the service in a cost-effective manner is a whole new ball game. But 5G is important, 5G is needed. In countries where it has been fully rolled out, people are getting the benefits. We can't have a fully digital economy without 5G. We can't have Internet of Things without 5G. People always look at it from the standpoint of data speed. No, 5G, yes, you're going to get higher data throughput coming to you as a subscriber, especially if you have a 5G-enabled phone. But you can also get that through some other channels that is not 5G today. So the bigger issue is the services that will run on 5G. We need to understand that it's the services that really drives the technology that is available, right? There's no need having 5G just to read your emails. It's a waste of resource, right? So if we are not having a fully digital economy, Internet of Things available up to the subscriber level, then having 5G is a waste of time. That's the truth of the matter. So we need to balance this.
This is Digivation Network.